Hi! Welcome back to my channel, Aubrey AF. I have some more ghost stories for you. Alright, this story is crazy. I got it off of Quora. So here we go. Ghost story time. This incident was narrated by my house help around 5-6 months back before the lockdown began. She said she lost her job in the neighboring building. She said the house members were leaving that apartment and were shifting for better, as living there would cause nemesis to the whole family. The apartment was rented by a couple who lived with their mom, dad, and a 6-month-old child. Oh wow, I didn't even realize when I read it before, a 6-month-old child, that's scary. Because I've read the story. Everything was going fine for about 1.5 months. The house was filled with fun and laughter. They were living a peaceful life, unknown of the fact that something dreadful was coming their way. Dun dun dun. It was in the month of February they started experiencing unusual happenings in the house. They started hearing creepy and eerie sounds in the night, falling off utensils. They also started feeling the presence of an unnatural, wraith-like entity around them. As the day dawned, things started getting spooky. The whole atmosphere used to change. They started feeling things which they never felt before. There was something wrong, which was bothering the entire family, which disrupted their daily routine. I don't know if you guys know, but when you feel a presence around and it's negative, it starts to ruin everything. Like, it starts to mess with you mentally, especially when you feel watched all the time, and then you start feeling drained, which they also are taking your energy, but then it starts ruining your sleep. And when your sleep is ruined, everything changes. I know when I don't get sleep, I am super angry, I am super just off, and then it's also taking your energy. Okay. One cold night, when everyone was in sound sleep, a loud scream awakened everyone. When they woke up, what they saw startled them. It was their 60-year-old mother who was sitting with her head down, oh my gosh, in a weird position, her hair covering her face like this. That would be so creepy. Oh my gosh, creepy. Your grandma, creepy. Okay. And she was screaming in a manly voice. She was possessed by a spirit, and it was a malevolent spirit. Y'all fire, y'all, give it to me. Crackle, crackle, crackle. She started saying things like, it's all written in Spanish. I don't know Spanish, and I will butcher it, but luckily there's a translation. This is my house. Leave from here. I don't allow people to live here for more than 2 months. I'd be so creeped out hearing your grandmother talking in a manly voice in that creepy position and then says that. The family members were shocked, at the same time helpless with the incident. That night somehow passed with terror. I don't know if I could go back to sleep after that. I'm just saying. I don't think so. They had to find a new house, which they somehow arranged within 2 days. Those 2 nights were the hardest nights of their life, as the same incident repeated. That's getting crazy. Crackle, crackle, crackle. They had to find a new house, which they somehow arranged within 2 days. Those 2 nights were the hardest nights of their life, as the same incident repeated and their mother's health worsened. Later, they shifted to a new place, and everything was fine again. They came to know later about that house that earlier many people had lived there for rent, but they never completed the term of rent, which is 6 months, and used to vacate the place within the span of 2 months. The house was haunted by the spirit of a woman and her spouse. We weren't shocked to hear the incident, as in an urban complex like ours, we never expected flats with such spooky paths. It was hard to believe, but it's somewhere true that there is something beyond science which has no firm explanations. This story is so creepy, and it's written, they said it's true. I mean, it may not be, but you know, like, this happened to a family. That is so traumatizing, and the grandma knowing that happened to her, that's terrifying. Spooka, 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 spooka. Yeah, let's find the Reddit. Yeah, let's find the Reddit. Yeah, let's find the Reddit. Fire. Okay, this story, it actually blew me away. This story, I kind of find it hard to believe, but I mean, I guess this could happen. So when you're a ghost and you're earthbound, your spirit is it's stuck here. It hasn't transitioned. It hasn't gone into light. It hasn't. Whoa. Okay. Fire's trying to kill me, man. They keep their personalities here, so I guess this could be if, like, the mom, because she was scaring the crap out of her. I don't know, man. Okay, wait, let me just read it. We'll talk about it after. Okay. My mom has been haunting me for 6 months, starting 1 hour after she died. Right? My mom just joined me because this story is crazy and I wanted her to hear it. I want to hear your thoughts on this story, too. My mom has been haunting me for 6 months, starting 1 hour after she died. My mom died 6 months ago. She had not been doing well since my dad died the year before. She has always had emotional issues and has always made me her favorite child. She relied on me the most for everything, thinking I was her savior. It's one of those moms. I may have been a good kid who followed all the rules while I was a kid and until my dad died. But things changed. Once my father died, my mom started having so many health issues and was nearly brain dead from a hard fall, which required life-saving surgery. She recovered, but was never fully herself again. After several months and a couple of different living arrangements, she decided to move out near me. I became her only person in the area. Wow, she should have made friends. It was during COVID, so any contact with anyone wasn't very limited. It was a lonely time for her. I felt like she was going downhill. After a month hospital stay and nursing home care, she was released to an assisted living and then died 1 week later in hospice. This wasn't expected. I thought she would live another year. But she went downhill so quickly the doctor ordered hospice. Days she died, I was in traffic with my daughter. I was notified via text that she had passed away. When I got home, I was texting my siblings and then heard my name and her voice on my left ear. That's crazy. It was her frantic voice that was, "What's happening?" Interesting. That she would get all the time. I became familiar with her variety of tones. I knew her mood or need based on how she said my name. I told my siblings what happened and my brother said they had just removed her body. It's crazy. As months passed, I have experienced the following. Oh man. 2 black masses circling around my head. They were about the size of gold balls. The large picture on wall being pulled hard away from the wall and slamming down over and over again. I woke up to seeing this in front of me and freaking out. My head skipped a beat. Then the door handle on the car door while I'm in the car getting ready to pull out of my space. Pulling the door handle like she did many times when I would take her place, like an eager toddler. This little figurine getting knocked off the windowsill all the time. I have a few different ones, but only the one that says boo. I still have her ashes and my dad's in the room with me. I'm planning to scatter these this summer. Why is my mom haunting me? I feel like she's always over my shoulder. I feel like maybe she moved on a little more, but she's still hanging around. I did tell her before she died that she should try to reach me from beyond, but I think I'm ready for her to fully move on. Sage hasn't worked. She tried to sage her mom. I have tried that a couple of times. What can I do to move on and release from this world? I don't hate her. I'm not even scared anymore. I just don't want her to think that she needs to watch out for me or rely on me anymore. To me, she has proven that there is an afterlife, but I want her to go live with my dad or whatever she needs to do. I don't know what to do right now with all these experiences. That's freaking crazy. But I don't think she was trying to scare her with a lot of those things. I think she was trying to let her know she was there. But I don't think she should sage her. I wonder if she actually spoke to her mom out loud, because that's what you do. When there's a spirit bothering you, first have to tell them to go, to leave, to move on. And if it's your mom, you definitely want to tell her to go to the light. Or, "Mom, I'm good, I'm safe. Thank you so much for making your presence known. Now it's time for you to leave." What do you think?
I think most people have such a connection to the person that they like to feel that the person's near or by them. Because you hear about stories where, like, the person likes something, like, say, a butterfly.
True.
And every time a butterfly went by, I guess it wasn't the actual person, though, it was a butterfly that reminded them of the person.
But she said her mom was very emotional and kind of needy. That energy already drains you a lot. And so if she actually didn't move on, she'd still be earthbound. So she'd still be her same personality. She hasn't like gone through the light and seen things in a different way. She's earthbound. And so she still has an emotional need, and maybe she's just scared to move on or doesn't want to leave her daughter and is trying to make herself more known. And the crazy thing is think about when you're alive and you do annoying things or whatever. Let's say you knock something over or whatever. It's not usually to scare a person, but when you're a ghost, it comes off so scary instantly if you don't even know about it. Like, you know, it's just, those kind of things are scary. Like, for example, when me and Gio were at a cemetery and we asked the spirit to not, like, make itself known, knock on a car, knock on the window, anything, we got a knock on the back of our trunk and we both freaked out. But we asked it. I was like, we asked it, it's okay, but it still scares you for a second.
Yeah. I guess my question is, if people pass on, then can they not come back as a guardian angel and watch over you?
You can, but usually it's, what I really think is her presence energy was in there and was scaring her. Because when you're having emotional energy around you, it's draining and it's not of the light. But if you're a guardian angel or you've moved on past the light and you come down, you have a total different energy. It's a higher light, it's higher energy, it's beautiful, it's a nice presence. So they're very different. I think her mom was draining her energy as well. Like, there's a scariness to it.
Okay, so there's the good energy and the bad, because like in my class, a little girl, her father died like 3 months ago, and she'll constantly make the comment after she tells everybody in the class, my daddy died, but he watches over me. So in that respect, you think, you know, children see things more than adults. But I guess I just wondered if you pass over, if you don't come back, because people always think that people, and I think that's a comforting thing to think.
Definitely.
That person passed on, now they're my angel, now they're with me, now they're gonna watch me. And if you had something with a person that, a connection, whatever, like maybe you saw rainbows or you talked about rainbows, and if you love the rain and you look at a rainbow after the rain, it would make you think of that person.
Question, with that girl in your class who asked about that, do you know if she's from a mom or someone who just tells her that, or have you asked if she's seen him for actual story?
I don't know if she's seen him or if that's the way they.
Oh, that'd been awesome.
But I think with her and her father, with her and her brother, because he was sick for a long time, I think that's kind of the way they've dealt with him being gone now, is he's not gone.
Oh,
he's
definitely.
He's still going to be with you.
Yeah.
He was your dad and he'll always be with you. So I don't know if she's actually seen him. I don't want to start something.
That would be so cool, though.
I know.
That's the first question I would ask. Like, have you seen him?
No.
Have you seen him? Let me know. What? Video chat ghost. I had a friend I made in Indonesia while I worked in Jakarta. I'm sorry if I butchered that. I do not know how to say that place's name. I was chatting to her one night via Yahoo. Wow, we're going back to the Yahoo Messenger times. Yahoo Messenger with the video on. This was back in 2010, a few months before I met my wife. I'd been chatting to her for some time, and at some point I noticed a girl behind her sitting on the floor. She was just chilling out, smiling with her legs bent in front of her. I was really amused because my friend had been chatting to me for some time, and turns out she's been ignoring her friend the whole time. I know, I'd have been like, freaking rude. That's so rude. So I teased and say, hey, a head just popped up behind you, expecting her to say, oh, that's my friend, such and such. She's just hanging out. Instead, she says, what head? I am alone. And I say, there's a girl with glasses behind her, and she looks totally freaked out. I joked that she had a ghost, but I didn't mean it. I just looked like an ordinary young woman, and it kind of looks like the woman ducks down and is gone. I asked my friend to get up so I can see her room, and it's empty, and she says she's totally alone. Most people would be so freaked out by that, but I'd be like, oh my gosh, gotta get my spirit box, gotta get my books, oh my gosh, I got it. I'm so excited. I'd be excited. Anyways. My friend looks really frightened, and I try to calm her down and say, I might have been imagining things, but I'm only saying it to calm her down because she looks so scared. It was late, but at that time, I regularly went to bed late, and I felt pretty awake because text chatting always makes me a bit nervous for some reason. Then she says that 3 of her other friends told her they can see a girl in her house, but she's never seen the girl herself. They all described her as wearing glasses, except everyone says she's wearing different clothes. 1, edit, actually 2, says it's a red dress, another a dark blue shirt, and for me she was wearing a white sort of blouse shirt and pants. Her glasses are big and square, and she looks around her late teens or early 20s. She tells me she basically didn't take her other friends seriously. Indonesians can be a bit superstitious. For example, I had an Indonesian colleague who was training to be some sort of shaman. Hey, that's pretty cool. And my friend was not into any of that stuff. Did not believe in ghosts or have any real religious beliefs. I didn't believe in ghosts either. And if she hadn't looked so freaked out and told me about her friends, I might have put it down to a hallucination. The other thing was that the video window quite small, but the picture was clear. It wasn't glitchy or blocky. It would be weird if my imagination overlaid a hallucination so perfectly to appear partially obscured by my friend's desk on the floor behind her. The funny part of the story is that we both thought the other person was lying. I would too. I thought she was lying about there being no one in the room, and she thought I was lying. I didn't believe I saw someone. Nevertheless, the fact I saw this girl independently of her other friends. Each of the other three also saw the girl independently of each other.
How do I make it bigger?
You just zoomed in on Aubrey's boobs. You really did this time, though.
I don't know. I don't know how to work
Look at my
this.
boobs.
It is flipped around. I don't know what you're trying to do.
I don't know what I'm trying to do. Oh, it is flipped? Okay.
Yeah.
The next time I chatted to my friend on a different day, we talked about it again. Apparently she asked more questions from her other friends. She had a friend that claimed to be a psychic that supposedly communicated with the ghost, and the ghost said she liked it in the house, and that she was kidnapped, murdered there, back when the area used to be a farmland. My friend lived outside of Jakarta. I don't know if I believe any of this, but I only know what I saw, and what I saw just appeared to be an ordinary young girl, totally solid, non-transparent, or anything like that. It's crazy. Fucking crazy. I went back to Jakarta as part of Southeast Asian holiday with my wife and met up with my friend. I asked her again if she was playing a joke on me, and she still claimed she wasn't, and we chatted about it again. If she's playing a prank on me, she's an amazing actor. She really looked scared when I said there was a girl in her room. 2, she improvised the story about her friends also seeing a girl really quickly. 3, it really wasn't her style of humor. Yeah, she didn't make that up. She definitely did not make that up. It's made me more open to the idea of ghosts, but being scientifically trained, oh, he's a science person, he's skeptic, got it. Which makes these stories even better. When it's a skeptic, oh, I would die for my husband, a skeptic, to see something like this. This would be amazing, because he'd be like, oh, what? I don't know. Actually, I would love to hear how he would make that sciencey, how it's not a ghost. He would just think that she's making it all up and lying and playing around. It's made me more open to the idea of ghosts, but being scientifically trained, I still have in my mind that it might have been a joke or a trick of the mind. I kept the transcript of the text chat through, and it still strikes me as a very genuine on my friend's behalf. It's a shame I couldn't save the video, and even if I could at the time, I didn't think I was seeing anything unusual, apart from the fact I thought my friend was being really rude and ignoring a guest. I'd post the transcript, but there are bits of it I find cringy because we had a running joke where we sort of jokingly flirted with each other, but it only makes sense in the context of our friendship, so it's a bit embarrassing. So if I posted that, I'd probably post edited highlights, which he did end up posting highlights and stuff, but I don't need to read any of that. But I think that's so cool, and I wish I could have an experience like that where you get to see it from like online, and then, except it scares the friend, and then you feel bad for him, but of course I'd grab all my stuff and I'd be running over and be like, all right, let's talk to this ghost. It'd be super cool. Yes. So this story is about someone staying in a hotel. This is a hotel experience, and this is pretty cool. This happened about this one is really short. This happened about 5 or 6 years ago. I was staying in a hotel that I regularly stayed at. Was typically there about 1 week a month. Never had any issues in any room except one. I was terrified in that room. It felt like something pure evil was in there. Every night I had nightmares of someone attacking me. When I woke up in the night, I was too afraid to move. It felt like someone was right next to me, waiting to pounce. The fear was so great that I was sure something would get me if I even reached for the light. I've had that feeling. I totally have. It's so terrifying. It felt like something wanted me dead. This went on for 3 nights, getting progressively scarier each night until I asked my boyfriend to have our rooms changed. We were immediately moved to a different room. Once we were in a different room, everything was fine. My boyfriend didn't expect or feel anything. It was definitely that room. There was something evil in there, and it definitely feeds off of people in there, and it definitely gave them those nightmares, for sure. Nowhere there's a lot of energy that is terrifying, out in the desert, where there's SWs. Y'all know what that is. If you don't, I'll write it. Yes, SWs, or there's many other things, but I definitely felt being out on a hike, I'd pick up things randomly, but there was this one time I was with a bunch of friends and it was terrifying. Like, you definitely can feel it, and you have to give off your own good energy and protect yourself because it can get scary out there. Definitely. Here's my personal experience with a sighting that I had. I must say, I'm a frequent traveler and also worked for a big hotel chain as a manager. Never ever during my work or travels I encountered something abnormal except for 2 times. Here's my first time. I think the year in 2008, 2 close friends of mine and I decided we'd go to Thailand for a vacation. We chose Bangkok for our destination. We arrived in Thailand entirely fit. We slept during the flight and we checked into our rooms. After an hour to ready up, we went to explore the city and having a meal, no alcohol. It was the first day, so we decided not to make it late and slept early. So they mentioned that they arrived fit. They got lots of sleep on the plane, no alcohol, so they're completely there. That's why she mentioned that. We had 3 identical rooms with the same layout, only mine was on the 4th floor. Room 412 was mine. My friends had rooms on the 5th and 6th. The rooms had mirrors in them. I knew about the thing that they shouldn't face your head, but I didn't pay too much of my attention to it because I was not really scared for it. So yes, there was a mirror in my room that you can see partly when you wake up, but just a part of the bed. Oh my gosh, it's terrifying when you have like the big mirrors in front of your bed and your bed is facing it and you wake up, and sometimes if you're so sleepy, you scare yourself. Here in Arizona, they have most of the closet doors are mirrors. And I remember when we first moved here, my bed was facing the mirror and I scared myself a couple times. It was stupid. So suddenly, I really don't know why I woke up around 3 or 4 a.m. First thing was to open my eyes, and just when I opened my eyes, I can see myself reflecting in the mirror as I got up in bed with my upper body. And not only my reflection, I saw 3 heads around me, like floating, inspecting me. What the frick? I'd be like, I'm sleeping with him. Okay, I don't know, I think that's a lot. Like, wait, what? Okay. I directly moved to the side to turn on the bed lights, and of course the heads are gone, leaving the only reflection in the mirror was me. I would think I made that up. Like, I don't know. I would be like, I don't know. Did I make that up? I don't know. I was horrified and got up. It still was pitch black outside. The first thing I did was open my door to my hotel room, so in case if I scream, someone will notice. I sat there for maybe a half an hour thinking what I saw. Was it me? I had glasses back then, but surely I'm not blind, right? I was saying that too. So around 4:30, I called the reception. I told them that I need to immediately change my hotel room because, you know, the heads, you know, they just float around my head. I would want to leave too. I told them that I need to immediately change my hotel room. The reaction stumbles me. Not a question why or what happened, just saying, yes sir, but the other room is ready by 9 a.m. Like they knew something was going on in my room or that the request is not strange for them. I figured this out later, not at the same moment. I don't know why I didn't go down to the lobby and wait till 9, but I still was in my room, thinking maybe it was me. So I didn't wake up my friends. At about 6:30 a.m., the sunrise was coming, and I opened all my curtains, and I waited till 8:45 till someone from the concierge came to my room to pick up my stuff and changed room. So when I changed room on the 5th floor, the room layout was the same mirror, but the funny part is, you cannot see yourself in the mirror. Somehow the angle of the mirrors changed, but I didn't notice any difference in the layout. When I checked my friends' rooms later on, they also had the same layout, the same mirror, but no reflection of yourself when you are asleep. Crazy stuff. Later on, we became friends with a girl from reception, and as I expected, she told me indeed I was not the first one that had these problems on the 4th floor. So they knew about the things there, but not all guests will notice them. So they keep checking people in those rooms. That's freaking awesome! That's great. I would love to work at the hotel, and I would literally like ask every time a person checked into that room about their stories. But that's so crazy. I mean, if I owned that hotel, I would still keep putting that room out too, but nowadays everyone wants to ghost hunt, so a lot of people would want to stay in there or investigate in there. Oh, and by the way, in most East Asian buildings, there is no 4th floor, as it means death. And sometimes also no 14th floor. However, with modern buildings now, this seems to fade out. So she was on a 4th floor. That's interesting. All right, last story. Last summer, we got a room with a beach view in Lincoln City, Oregon. As soon as we walked in, I felt like I was being smothered. There are some rooms and some energies that totally smother you. I know that exact feeling she's talking about. And if you felt it, you know. I sat down on the bed trying to catch my breath, and I was overcome with despair. I sobbed and sobbed. sometimes in the cemetery you just pick up the different spirits' energies or crying or anything. Like you can feel it, and almost anyone who wants to open themselves up to feeling it can feel it, and sometimes you can't even help it. It's just so powerful. I couldn't stay there. When I walked into the bathroom, I felt full of rage, and not just because there was no toilet paper. That's funny. The windows were nailed so that they only opened enough to stick a few fingers through. At the window, I felt something sinister, and when I looked at the armchair, I was overwhelmed with the sense of that an old man had died in it. Definitely a residue energy still there. Or the man is still there and she could pick up on it. That's really cool. I couldn't stay there. We canceled our reservations and luckily found rooms elsewhere. I don't know what happened in that room, but it was definitely not just one thing. Wow. Yep. It's pretty cool when you go in a room that has so much energy in there that you can pick up what happened in there. It's really crazy. And then there's residue energy that's left over half the time. It's crazy. Or that spirit could have been there and literally just telling her basically what happened, and he didn't want her in that room. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos. That is all of my stories that I have for today. And if you guys want to follow my Instagram account, it is AubreyAF Official on Instagram. If you guys like this video, please drop it a like. It's free. And also, please subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!